This is CNN Breaking News.
A college town in California is in shock this morning, some 12 hours now after a gunman opened fire, killing 6 people. Investigators say it appears the attack was premeditated, and they're looking at video and written evidence to try to figure out the motive. I'm joined now by our legal guys. Back with us now, Avery Friedman, a civil rights attorney and law professor in Cleveland, and Richard Herman, a New York criminal defense attorney and law professor, joining us from Las Vegas. All right, good to see you again, gentlemen. Thanks so much for coming back. So, Richard, you first. We spoke with a former ATF, former assistant director, and he was talking about, even though this suspect is dead, investigators really have to figure out who knew what when, if anything. And along the lines of that, there could possibly be prosecutions if it turns out there were people who were complicit, even though authorities are now saying it looked like this gunman acted alone. How much energy is being put into that at this stage of the investigation, in your view?
I think a lot of energy is put into how this individual obtained the weapon or weapons that he used in this crime spree. That's the critical inquiry. Did someone provide him with that gun, or as the caller said, was there a straw man who purchased the gun and then gave it to him? How did he obtain a high caliber semi-automatic handgun like this? And I'm telling you, Fred, he either had a massive extended clip on it. I don't know how he changed clips while he was driving the car for that distance on one handgun and got that many shots off. I think there may be multiple handguns here used. And again, the emphasis is, how did he get this handgun? That's the inquiry right now.
Yeah, and because, Avery, we've learned now with our reporter on the ground there, Kyung Law, and our sources that have talked to our Evan Perez, 9 crime locations, but all within just a matter of blocks or feet of one another.
Within 4 blocks.
Right. So, the changing of the magazine, or having more than one, handgun, something to that degree, all of that is being looked at thoroughly, Avery.
Well, honestly, if people want to get guns, they're going to get guns. And in California, they've got tough gun laws. I do think it's a very legitimate issue to explore. Frankly, this is the same story again, on the assumption that we know who the suspect is, Frederica. We are dealing with testosterone-fueled rage based on irrationality, as if society owes this individual something. And then the question is, okay, I'm mad, I'm going to make everybody pay for it. And so how he got that gun, because there's not going to be a prosecution of the suspect, he's gone. But for those people involved in seeing his condition and facilitating it and helping him along and aiding and abetting, I think this is a very serious legal issue, and obviously everybody in law enforcement wants to get their hands on that evidence.
And of course, which would be fascinating, in order to piece those things together, to find out the timeline of the planning, who may or may not have been involved here. It's looking at videotape, not just the videotape that investigators are examining right now, which may be a manifesto or, perhaps not, but it may be looking at surveillance video in the community, in stores, ATMs, all of that, Richard, to try and piece this together. This is still very complicated, even though you have this, gunman dead, and even though police on the surface believe he acted alone in terms of carrying out this act. But so much happened prior.
That'll be critical, Fred. And people, even where I'm sitting right now, Phyllis and Matt are discussing the fact that there are surveillance cameras all over that area, probably street cameras set up. All those video, all those recordings are being attempted to be obtained by law enforcement, reviewed by law enforcement, to piece this timeline together and to see as much as they can from that video surveillance.
All right, Avery, Richard, thanks so much, gentlemen. Appreciate it. Always love seeing you.
Have a great day, Fred.